Okay, so that's the AFC and NFC wildcard weekend. Let's take a look at the divisional round. Keep in mind the matchups will change based on who they had winning in the first round, but let's get right to it.
All right, so for my second round matchups in the AFC, I have Indianapolis versus Baltimore. Really, Peyton Manning is the best quarterback in the game right now, one of the best offenses in the game right now, and I think they're going to beat Baltimore. I got Cincinnati versus San Diego. Cincinnati may have beaten the Jets, sure, but they're not that great of a team, and San Diego is, so San Diego's going to win. Moving to the NFC, we got New Orleans versus Philadelphia, and I agree with Vince. Donovan McNabb is not that clutch, but since he made it to the second round because Romo choked, picking New Orleans against McNabb here. And then Arizona versus Minnesota. Arizona is not a very consistent team, and I don't think they could win more than one playoff game in a row this year. Got to go with the Vikings. Peterson, Favre, Harvin. They'll beat Arizona.
Yeah, in round two, I like the Colts over the Jets because, barring any unexpected injuries, Curtis Painter won't be playing in that game. And I have the Patriots over the Chargers. In the NFC, I think the Cardinals will continue a deep playoff run against the Vikings and beat them for the second time this year. And I also think that the Saints will take down the Eagles in the Superdome.
First matchup is Patriots-Chargers. Look for the Chargers to get over the hump, maybe a little revenge for a couple years back when New England knocked them out. Second game, we got the Jets against Indy. Jets barely made the playoffs this year. Indy, week in and week out, has been the best team in the NFL. Look for them to roll. Arizona, Minnesota. Obviously, I cannot pick Minnesota. Brett Favre, still hate him. But we do know Arizona can make a run in the playoffs, as they showed last year. And the final game, New Orleans, Dallas. Romo flubs, and New Orleans moves on.
All right, for my NFC, I have the Chargers beating the Patriots. Although Tom Brady is a more experienced quarterback than Phillip Rivers, and I expect LaDainian Tomlinson to come down with some type of injury, probably like a sore shoulder, like a fingernail sprain or something like that, where he'll sit out. Wrist contusion, maybe. I don't really know, but stay tuned for that. I have the Colts over the Jets because the Colts are much better. That really doesn't need to be explained. Then in the NFC, I have the Cowboys over the Vikings. I don't know. I just don't see it ending well for Brett Favre. Unfortunately, he'll probably retire again. Then I have Arizona over New Orleans because Arizona is a quality playoff team. They have Super Bowl experience. Kurt Warner has a lot of experience. Larry Fitzgerald's awesome. So I'm going to take the Cardinals there.
All right, let's move on to the conference championships. Adam, who do you have?
Well, in my AFC Conference Championship, I have Indianapolis versus San Diego. As of a few weeks ago, when Indianapolis was still 12-0, there were people on ESPN saying that the Chargers were a better team than the Colts even then. They were wrong then, they're wrong now. The Colts are going to prove it this week. Colts win. NFC Championship, I got New Orleans versus Minnesota. I like Minnesota in this game. I just don't think New Orleans can keep up the magic all the way through this season, and I really think Favre being the more experienced quarterback is going to pay off for the Vikings in this game.
Do the whole thing.
In the AFC Championship, I have the Patriots and the Colts in a media frenzy game, but I don't think it's going to come down to another 4th and 2 in this one. I think Peyton Manning's going to throw all over the Patriots' weak secondary. And then in the NFC, I think the Saints are going to beat Arizona. Saints are going to use their incredible home field advantage, and they're going to take down the Cards and make the Super Bowl in a lovable loser type story.
I told you the crazy picks are coming, and this is the round where they happen. All right, first game, San Diego, Indy. Indy's the favorite. I like San Diego in this one. I look for a big game from the fiery Phillip Rivers. Gutsy performance.
Cocky.
It'll be epic. Epic. Remember that. And in the other one, we got Arizona, New Orleans. I like Arizona in this one. Another run to the Super Bowl. We'll see if they actually go over the top this time.
All right, and I'm going to go with, in the AFC, I'm going to go with the soon-to-be 4-time MVP Peyton Manning over the cocky Phillip Rivers and the Chargers without LaDainian Tomlinson. And then in the NFC, I have Arizona over Dallas. I just think Arizona's been there, done that. Kurt Warner's been there before. Dallas hasn't, so I'm going with Arizona.
All right, they've broken down the bracket up until the Super Bowl. Let's see who they have winning the championship this year.
My Super Bowl matchup, Indianapolis Colts, Minnesota Vikings. And I'm going to go with the pick that every football fan in America wants to happen. Minnesota Vikings. Let me tell you why. If Brett Favre wins the Super Bowl this year, there's absolutely no way he's ever coming back to play in this league again, and we never have to hear about him. ESPN will have to find something else to talk about, but everybody will rejoice and sing in the streets.
That's pretty good, Adam. But in the Super Bowl, I have the Indianapolis Colts and the New Orleans Saints, in which pretty much amounts to a win-win for good old Archie Manning. But I think the Saints are going to take down the Colts in the battle of the two teams that were leading the AFC and NFC respectively all season. And I think the New Orleans Saints pull off the storybook season and win it all.
All right, it comes down to Chargers and the Cardinals. In this one, I look for Arizona to come up short again. Chargers pull it off. I think they've been one of the best teams in football throughout the year. And maybe he'll retire at the end of this season too.
We can only hope LT retires after this season. He really needs to. I'm going to go with the Colts over the Cardinals, 31-27. I think Peyton Manning wins his second Super Bowl over Kurt Warner. It'll be another game, another classic. So I like the Colts
Who's
to
going to
win.
retire after the game in that one?
I would say Kurt Warner's the most likely to retire. I don't know if it happens, but
All right, we've got the Vikings, the Saints, the Chargers, and the Colts. 4 different picks by our panelists. I'm going to go with the Chargers-Saints Super Bowl. And since most of our panels are likely to mess up anyway, we're going to have another show right before the Super Bowl to redo any picks or just bask in the glory of our correct picks. Just remember, this is Pick 6, and you heard it here first.